network infrastructure. You got it, right? Okay, so start from Ali. Okay.
Okay, I'll try to attempt to answer that. So as you know that more and more business want to provide better customer service or increase their business revenue, right? So in fact, over the break, I was speaking to some of the audience as well. In fact, you see that a lot more companies are trying to get better insight from their customer data. So they collect the customer data, for example, a bank or a consumer products company want to know better about the behavior of the customer. So for example, in a bank situation, like the amount of deposit of the customer, the typical monthly income of the customers, what is the spending pattern, right? The transaction, the amount, that will give the insight to the bank. Or a consumer product company, for example, may try to understand what kind of product or online shopping, for example, e-marketplace. They will try to understand what kind of products does this customer typically buy. And then when the customer comes back again, we'll do automatic recommendation of what product, similar product group that the customer should buy, right? So that will increase the customer loyalty as well as buying habit as well, thereby increasing more revenue to the company.
So like understand customer better. Okay, thank you.
For me, I think AI can apply in small, medium enterprise to make them easier, more comfortable. Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Kun?
Yeah, I totally agree with two of you. I think in the business perspective, AI/ML can help in business operation. For example, the revenue forecasting, inventory management, operational management. Not just only in business kind of area, right? The AI/ML can also help in educational sector, in agricultural sector, in every sector.
How about in the network infrastructure?
Yeah, of course. In the network infrastructure, AI/ML also can help to reduce the gap between the machine and the human, right? So as I mentioned in my session, we don't have to learn, let's say, the command line anymore. The AI/ML can help to close the gap between the human and the machine.
Okay, thank you. Anything to add more on the network infrastructure? No, right? Okay, thank you. So we move to the next question. What are the opportunities and challenge of implementing AI or machine learning? You can talk about the challenges in the regulation, impact of the workforce, or the human and communication. Yeah.
Okay, so I think one of the biggest challenges is the data, right? You need to collect a lot of data. So obviously, it will impose a challenge on the scalability of that. So a big data lake is very important to improve the accuracy of that machine learning. So the more data that you have, then the better pattern that the machine learning and the training, the models can further improve to become the accuracy of that. So that's one area. So where to get the data and how to then, the machine learning itself, do you have data scientists, for example? Is quite scarce. That kind of resource is pretty scarce, and the ability to be able to develop those kind of machine learning application, right, to make meaningful insight of those data is another challenge as well.
Thank you. Yeah, you are right. We once have to say that garbage in, garbage out, right? So the more cleaner the data as an input, the more cleaner the output of the AI/ML algorithm, right? So as I mentioned, the AI/ML also have its own strength and weakness. So it's up to your application. What do you use the AI/ML for? So you need to fully understand. Even I mentioned that, like me and you, the knowledge worker can be replaced by the AI/ML, but not today. Even it is soon, right? But not today. Even today, if you ask something for with the ChatGPT, you need to understand. If you let it write the code, at least you need to understand the coding, right? You cannot trust them fully.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the idea of that in the near future, AI will take over the world, and human may lost their job or something like that. How you think about that?
I think in near future, yeah, it's possible, but right now I think it is come up with many things to concern. For example, the ethics of the AI ML. Someday we need to discuss about this thing before the AI ML will take over. Right.
For me, challenging about AI, I think about two, good and bad. Good, very good for employer or rich people. Yeah, they easy to work with their business. Yeah, with their money. And bad, they don't use employee or need more people to work for them. They only use machine to work with their own. They don't need much money to spend with people. Yeah. So not good for poor people, but good for rich people. Yeah.
Yeah, with all technology, it is a two side of the coin, right? So it can always be used for good or bad. So take, for example, nuclear technology. It can be a very massive weapon, but it can also generate electricity, renewable energy that we need nowadays. So similar with AI and machine learning as well. So we have seen, unfortunately, been used by the bad guys to write even more better malware that avoid detection. So on the defender side, cybersecurity side, practitioner, we definitely want to use AI and machine learning to counter that as well, right? So obviously one of the area that can be used is the automating that detection, right? So as the bad guys are trying to evade better detection, we want to use machine learning to also automate that detection capability, making it better and better. So for example, one of the things that we see, and maybe that's also applicable to network provider as well, the DDoS attacks is use more and more bots. Sometimes these bots are getting more and more sophisticated, right? So we have seen many of our customers are impacted as well. One area, for example, is the account creation. One of the steps that involves an account creation